Hello. This. And in my last video, I said I pre-ordered the PS4. Yeah, okay, moving on. And of course, you all know the reason. Sony finally introduced a console other than the PS3, which was a piece of tub of shit. This one will probably have some problems. I don't know, but some people saying it is, some people saying it won't. But you know what? Here's the thing: it's still got better specs than the Xbox One, and it's still cheaper, and it doesn't require me to hook up a fucking motion device against my fucking will. And yeah, the PS4i that can be sold separately along with a second controller. So yeah, fuck off. And of course, most of these people are saying, well, do you have a camera on your laptop or on your iOS device? That's a mute question. Okay, it's okay to hook in a device that pretty much records all your information against behind your back, along with your heartbeat and all this other shit, and says that it stores it in its internal memory and will not upload it to anything. Yeah, right. That's what Microsoft said. And you can turn off all those Connect features, even though it will still be on and it's still required to make the Xbox One even turn on, because the Xbox One will not turn on if you disconnect the Connect from the Xbox One. It will refuse to shut on. It will say you have to plug in the Connect device, and that's the one thing that really makes this argument stupid. First of all, as we all know, the camera doesn't spy. The cameras in iOS and all, and in laptops, somewhat don't spy on you. But here's the thing: the reason why those cameras are mandatory is because they're built into the device. They are a part of that device. The Kinect on the Xbox One is an attachment that it's hard to process this through your skull, but it's an attachment, not a part of the device. See, it's a device that sits on your TV and has a wire that goes all the way to the Xbox One. Now, with the say like my iPod Touch with the two cameras in there, in order for me to take those two cameras out, I would have to literally pull the entire device up, rip out portions of the motherboard, along with certain hardwires on them that's soldered into the motherboard, and I would basically fuck up my iPod Touch beyond repair. But with the Xbox One, in order to separate the Kinect from the Xbox One, pull the wire. Yeah, that's right. Pull the wire. But yet these people are maintaining a device that where you could just easily yank a wire out from the back of a console to say another device where you literally have to go underneath the casings and literally pull certain devices out and even do permanent harm to your motherboard to get those cameras removed. See, those devices are attached with the camera. But the Xbox One's mandatory thing is really just an attachment that has no real physical attachment to the Xbox One, only except for a wire that is plugged in the back of the device. Beyond that, there's nothing there. Sony understood this. That's why Sony is selling their little iToy device separately. Because it's a separate device. It's an add-on device. Yeah, you don't get all the features, but some people just don't care for the features. And that's for this whole year you're going to spend, you're spending the same amount if you get that and the camera at once. That's kind of bullshit. Was the same bullshit that the PlayStation 3 owners were trying to put on the Xbox 360 owners about the Wi-Fi attachment. The truth is, and this is the actual truth, 1 month you can pay for the console, and the next month you can, with your next salary check, you can pay for the add-on. And it's not that hard to figure out. You basically are paying the same amount of money, but with the longer amount, you're actually saving money. And so, with the longer time distance, and the fact that you can pay with two separate paychecks or in two separate individual time periods, hell, you can wait an entire year and then buy the add on, and you're still saving money. The same goes for the Xbox 360's Wi-Fi connector. That's why I never agreed with those PlayStation 3 Sony fanboys when they're saying, oh, well, you get this device all in one, but you have to get all these add-ons to make it, and it will cost about almost more. Yeah, but they can get those add-ons later. And the same argument goes here. And this whole thing with the mandatory connect is just utter bullshit, and it's more of a cripple against the system itself than it is as well as the gamer. But the thing is, okay, picture this in your head. Say you're moving to a completely different state, and you got a better job, and you've got a newer version of the Xbox One because Microsoft does that. You want to sell your old version to the closest GameStop. There's a problem. The Connect device, the Connect device, you separated it all when you tore it apart, but somehow it got lost. The Connect is gone. So all you can do is just sell the Xbox One along with the controller. And then you take it to GameStop, and of course they buy it, and you take your money and go off to another state and then find the Connect device, but it's already too late. So all you can do is just chuck the thing in the garbage or say, hey, I got two Connect devices. But that GameStop then sells your old Xbox One with a missing Connect, and to an unwitting kid who doesn't understand this, guess what? He's got a brick. A fucking brick. He cannot do anything with his Xbox One anymore not anymore, or at all. Because Microsoft's Xbox One requires the Kinect to be hooked on to even power up. That is a fucking problem. And knowing the history of GameStop, or most fucking pawn shops out there, they're not going to fucking care if they sell a Xbox with a missing Kinect add-on to it. This thing is a disaster on all proportions. So's that mandatory fucking 24-hour internet check. That's even bigger of a fucking disaster. Because none of you people don't understand this. Go to forum sites, any kind of forum sites. I went to a couple of comic book forum sites, and I've learned that when you go through these forum sites, most of these forum sites are with people who have 64K modems, or even somewhat less, and they got finally high speed power internet, but most of the rest of the town doesn't, and it becomes a nightmare for them because that 24-hour internet check doesn't do well with 56K modems or lower, and it doesn't even help with that one asshole from Microsoft who gets up there and says, well, you can just, if you live in a region that you can't play your Xbox One, just get an Xbox 360. The reason why they wanted to buy an Xbox One, you moron, was to play your fucking next gen games, and they can't play your fucking next gen games, and you're telling them fuck off and just buy a 360 and leave me the fuck alone, you miserable piece of shit.